What's up, it's cinemashogun here, and a few months ago there was a major fire down in Maui in Hawaii that basically wiped out all of Lahaina. Now, we talked about this fire for a couple of months right here on this channel and even on my other channel because there was a lot of weird stuff going on around this fire. Law enforcement blocked the roads, making sure people couldn't escape. And as of right now, even though this happened, I believe, on August 8th, we have yet to really get an accurate death toll. We still don't really know how many people died in this fire and how many people went missing. Of course, there were reports everywhere of hundreds of kids missing. We never really heard anything else about that. Meanwhile, every single day, we're getting the death toll out of Gaza and the war between Israel and Hamas. They're updating us every day on the death toll. Yet here we have a fire that happened 4 or 5 months ago, and we still have very little information. It's very obvious that they're not trying to be transparent about what happened in this fire. Meanwhile, they feel comfortable being transparent about other things. But anyways, during my coverage of this story, every now and then I would briefly mention the fact that there are secret tunnels being built in Hawaii as we speak. I would briefly mention that Mark Zuckerberg is building like a underground compound. Now, of course, I couldn't focus on these details too much because people, when they hear this, they think it's crazy. They automatically write it off as a conspiracy theory, and they start viewing you as if you're not a credible source for news and information. Because most people don't realize how crazy the world is. Sure, you sit down and you watch your movies, you watch your TV shows, you play your video games, you read your books, and you see how crazy the made-up stuff is in all of those forms of entertainment. Well, I can assure you, reality, what's actually happening in the actual world around you, is much crazier than anything you're going to see on TV. So even when I would briefly bring this up, people would roll their eyes. Underground tunnels? Mark Zuckerberg building a compound? You crazy conspiracy theorist. Fast forward a few months and now it is open news. It is now open news. You can go look it up on Google. You can look it up on whatever search engine you choose. But it's out in the open now. Mark Zuckerberg building a $100 million Hawaii compound with a massive underground bunker. So you see how quickly the conspiracy theories turn into conspiracy facts? And my question is, when are people going to get tired of being wrong? When are people going to get tired of labeling everything a conspiracy without doing their own research? Because when I look around at everything that's happened in the last few years, boy, the conspiracy theorists were basically right about every freaking thing. About every freaking thing. And how many conspiracy theories need to come true before people realize that these aren't conspiracy theories at all? These are just people with information that I don't have because maybe I don't put as much time and effort into researching and to finding out what's going on around me, right? That's what people's problems are. They have other priorities, which is okay. But then they look at people like me like we're crazy when we're providing you with factual information that may just not be out there in the mainstream yet. But now this info's in the mainstream. So the question is, what is Mark Zuckerberg preparing for? What does he know? Let's go ahead and dive into this article and find out what's going on here. He's building a Zucker bunker. Mark Zuckerberg is reportedly building a sprawling $100 million Hawaii compound complete with an underground bunker and its own food and energy sources, in a secret project suggesting the social media mogul is trying to conceal his doomsday preparations. The Facebook founders' complex, called Kalau Ranch, is already partially constructed and is shaping up to be one of the most expensive personal construction projects in modern history, according to a Wired investigation of property records and interviews with contractors. The compound on Kauai Island will consist of more than a dozen buildings, with 2 central mansions that will be connected by a tunnel that leads to a 5,000 square foot underground shelter with an escape hatch accessible via a ladder. The property will house at least 30 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms, and will also feature dottings of guest houses and a group of 11 disc-shaped tree houses joined together by rope bridges according to the plans reviewed by the outlet. Other exits and entrances throughout the compound's buildings will have doors with keypad locks and soundproofing, while the library will feature a secret or blind door according to the construction documents. Cameras are already everywhere, according to one worker, and the plans show that one smaller ranch building has more than 20 cameras alone, the tech publication reported. Kalau Ranch has another feature, showing the Meta CEO may be planning for some sort of apocalypse. According to sources and construction plans, the builders hope to make it completely self-sufficient. A water tank, 55 feet in diameter and 18 feet tall, along with a pump system, will be housed on the property, where existing ranching and agriculture on the 1,400 acres already provide food sources. Zuckerberg has built a 6-foot wall around the compound and has all of his contracted workers, no matter their level of involvement, sign NDAs regarding their work on the property. The billionaire has spent $170 million to date on this ranch. So, when you hear about doomsday preppers, like people who are stocking up on food, they think something bad's going to happen, they're getting ready for the end of the world. When you hear about them, you think of them as crazy, right? What's wrong with these people? Yet, here we have one of the most powerful, one of the richest, someone who's considered one of the most intelligent people on this planet. And they're building one of the biggest doomsday bunkers in the world. We look at these doomsday preppers as if they're crazy, yet here we have one of the most powerful people in the world who obviously has access to way more knowledge and way more information than any of us. And it appears that he's preparing for something big. And ladies and gentlemen, the public information that has now made it out there, this is the tip of the iceberg. I knew that he was building these tunnels and he was building this compound for, I would say, at least 3 years now. And there's so much more. There's tunnels that lead directly to the ocean with submarines, all types of crazy stuff. The information that's in the public, like I said, it's the tip of the iceberg. But when you see how Mark Zuckerberg is getting ready for something big, when you see how he's building this compound, it's obvious that it's not just for him. It's obvious that it's not just for his family. So who else will be in this compound? And you see, when it comes to the Lahaina fire, the fires in Maui, a lot of the locals feel like it happened on purpose. That either they started this fire or at the very least they allowed it to burn to ensure the destruction of this area. Because billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg, Oprah, Jeff Bezos, they've been trying to buy this land for a long, long time. And they have their own plans for it. And I can tell you right now, the elites, they plan on basically taking over Hawaii. They're destroying America as we speak. They're pumping money into politicians and foundations and into agencies that are helping destroy our country. And they're all going to hide in their multi-million, multi-billion dollar compounds in Hawaii. If you think Mark Zuckerberg's the only one, then you're crazy. Mark, Oprah, like I said, Jeff Bezos, billionaires whose names you never heard of because they choose to stay out of the limelight, they all have their eyes on Hawaii. They're all viewing Hawaii as this place that they're going to go when the ish finally hits the fan, which I would say it's already kind of hitting the fan, but it hasn't hit it head on yet. So when you see stuff like the fires in Lahaina, it all kind of starts to add up. It kind of starts to make sense. Because you see, they want to do what they want to do with the land. They can't come and build these secret underground bunkers and tunnels under your house. So they want your house and your family to get the hell out of there so they can turn this into one big doomsday prep for the billionaires. That's what they want to turn Hawaii into. This doomsday shelter for billionaires, where the world's most powerful people will flock when America finally goes down the drain. And it's like I said, it's not just Mark Zuckerberg. And if Mark Zuckerberg is building something this extensive, you have to believe that he's probably in contact with these other powerful people. And they're probably coming up with elaborate plans about how all of their tunnel systems will link together and all of this crazy, crazy stuff. And it sounds far out there, but this is real. And then you think about the hundreds of missing kids that we never heard anything else about. And now you know, hey, we got secret underground tunnel systems in Hawaii with the world's richest people all there. People who we already know like to partake in doing things with little kids. So it's scary, folks. It's scary. But the reality of the world we're living in is much crazier than any of the sci-fi movies that you're watching at home. And it's time to wake up. It's time to realize that these dark, kooky little conspiracy theories that you used to read about on the internet, it turns out most of them are true. And those of us, like myself and like others, who are out here ringing the alarm, we need people to help spread our messages. We need people to start spreading this information. We don't need people fighting us tooth and nail, acting as if we're lying or we're coming up with conspiracies when we're telling you the God's given truth. So, you have the information, folks. I'm glad this has been officially confirmed. So now people who thought I was crazy for believing this, now you know what's up. Now you know what's up. I guess I wasn't so crazy after all. Maybe you're the crazy one for not opening your mind to the possibility. Maybe you're the crazy one for thinking that we live in a kumbaya world where everyone is playing patty cake while sitting around a fire passing a peace pipe. No, that's not what's happening, folks. The world is scary. It's a dangerous place. And the most powerful people are getting ready for something big. And we've been talking about that a lot on this channel. And this just goes to back it up. Because like I said, Mark Zuckerberg knows a lot more than what we know. And I doubt that he's building this stuff for no reason. But let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments below. If you're feeling generous this holiday season, you can donate to the channel via Cash App, or you can donate via Super Thanks. I will have my Cash App in the pinned comment of this video. And you can help the channel out in many other ways by liking the video, sharing the video, subscribing, ringing that notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all soon in the next one.